Good morning, everybody. Hey, welcome to Tuesday, August 11th. I hope your Monday was good and your week's off to a great start. And looking forward to our conversation with Dave as some more macro stuff starts to come out. And we got a few earnings still popping in on some household names. So looking forward to that. Hope you'll stick with us through the show today and looking forward to our conversation with Dave.
0.7 line is Lionel Richie. It is Morning Dave. And it is 8:39, which at 21 before 9 means we got a chance to look and see what's happening to your retirement accounts on Wall Street this morning. Phillip Statler from Statler Financial Services in downtown Sebring is here, ready to quantify, qualify, and explain some of the weirdness we're seeing of late as well. We got a big news item that looks like it might be driving the Dow through the roof today, right, Phillip?
Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably
Phillip?
Markets are going.
Phillip? Wiggle a wire. I'm missing you there. I think we got an internet hassle.
There we go. I lost you and I got you back now finally.
Oh, thank God. I was worried because we were talking about that big bit of news that was driving the Dow through the roof, and you were kind of going in and out there for a second. Are you with me?
I'm with you right now, man. So, hey, we've got the Russians thinking that they've got a vaccine and they're going to start trying it out, I guess, on people. And, hey, if it works, Dave, I think that's probably some good news.
Hey, it's obviously good news on the Dow at the very least this morning. And you and I were talking before we went on the air. And okay, here's the cynical side of the thing. We need a big test for any new virus. And both Democrats and Republicans probably say, hey, let's use it on the Russians first, right?
Yeah. Hey, we're not beyond that, right? Let's let them test it, make sure it works, and then bring it across the pond.
I'll qualify myself as a moral individual, but at the same time, when everything breaks evenly, they got a brand new virus, I don't mind them testing it on the Russians first. That's obviously real good news because something like that does get shared across the borders, and if we end up finding a formulation that does work safely and effectively, that's going to be big news for a lot of really hard-hit sectors. And looking at the numbers early on this morning, the Dow futures are having an absolute party, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, man. They are really and truly just bumping up against everything. They're almost at 28,000 right now on the Dow, which is just a crazy high number again.
Absolutely. Speaking of crazy high numbers, Standard & Poor's is on a really big roll. They've been going up virtually every day. And reading a tidbit news item as I was setting up for this morning, the Standard & Poor's 500, we've been talking about NASDAQ setting new records. The Standard & Poor's is only 0.4% away from its record high, a broad-based big stock index. Now looking at setting a record high, and I'm looking at the futures this morning, we could actually open at a record high today. Things are really coming up roses as far as equities are concerned, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. Right now, I've got the quote on the S&P 500 is up 0.6%. So you are correct. At the rate we're going right now, if nothing changes, we'll open up at a new record high for the S&P 500.
Absolutely. Interesting to say the least. You and I have both been urging caution that what goes up got to go down. And since we haven't really crossed the bridge fully on the COVID crisis, weird things are still capable of happening. But the good news is definitely driving things up. The producer price index was our big data dump out of the federal government today. Normally, higher than expected inflation is not good news. In an economy like this, anything that indicates more demand has to be, and we kind of beat the street, I guess. Producer price index up 0.6% last month, and that's a little higher than they expected, I gather.
Yeah, it's almost double. It is double what was expected. They expected 0.3, came in at 0.6. So I think the markets are liking that too. And when you look at core, which pulls out that some of those necessities, right? It was up 0.3. And it was expected to only be up 0.1. So both of those numbers are, I'm with you, better than expected based on where we are economically right now.
Absolutely. In 6-10 months from now, we might be calling beating an inflation number not good news. But for the moment, anything that indicates the economy is perking along, with more demand a little bit better than was expected is considered good news. We're in earnings season. Things are looking good. We're kind of alluding to a lot of green ink on the market this morning early on. How are the reports looking? Are the companies that we're trading kind of backing that up too?
It just depends on the industry, depends on a lot of different things. For the ones we have today, it's a lot of retail and shopping centers. So you can imagine what that means.
Probably not good news, I'm guessing, right?
So I got a couple that aren't really household names. I got Casper Sleep, which is a mattress retailer. I don't know that we've got any of them here in Florida, but they lost 16 cents a share, which was 2 cents more than expected. But their revenue beat forecast. So kind of interesting there. They're actually not, I can't find even a stock price on them right now, which is kind of funny. The other one I saw was Canadian Goose, which is traded on the Toronto Exchange. So they don't have any numbers on it yet now, but it had a smaller than expected loss for the quarter. And revenue obviously was better than expected. The coronavirus continues to be an issue there as our revenue has declined significantly. Now here's one. Go ahead.
Canadian Goose. What do they do?
Canadian Goose. That's the outerwear company.
Oh, Goose.
Yeah, Goose. Yeah, not the liquor company.
Okay, I was figuring juice, and I was getting thirsty there for a second. I'm sorry.
And then we have Macerich, which is a shopping center operator. Now we know they lost money, right, because of just the industry as a whole. They did lose 18 cents a share, and that was 2 cents more than what was expected. Their revenue was below forecast, which you kind of expect that too. They're still being hammered with store closures, stores not being able to pay rent. Those type of things are kind of adding up for them, and they are trading. Get this, up today, 2.1%.
Sometimes things make absolutely no sense to me.
Yeah, and they were up yesterday almost 5%. So it is crazy what's happening in the marketplace. The other, go ahead.
Got to be expectations for future guidance, but of all the lines of work that I think right now are risky to be in, being a big retail shopping center landlord, the combination of the big chains going under and just telling you they aren't going to pay rent, put that together with the individual, mom and pops that rent from you that flat out can't pay rent, doesn't strike me as a line of work I'd necessarily want to be into right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. The other big property owner, mall owner, is Simmon Property Group, and they missed earnings also by about 15 cents a share, and their revenue was below forecast. And obviously, they were hurt by unpaid rent and forced shutdowns and bankruptcies by all the retail folks that are out there. Let's see if their price is doing the same. Yep, sure is. It was up 5.3% yesterday, up another 2% this morning.
Some of that has got to be optimism over the vaccine news as well, doesn't it?
I think so. I believe so, given that we think we have a vaccine. Once the vaccine hits, people are going to be more apt to be out and about doing things.
That's got to be what I'm figuring. I'm looking at optimism reigning supreme on the big gainers I've got on the list. I'm seeing Norwegian Cruise Lines, Carnival Cruise Lines, Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, all going up in the mid-single digits this morning on pre-market trading, and that's got to be just optimism over the notion of, hey, maybe the Ruskies will get it right first and we can get that virus over here in a hurry, right?
Yeah, I think so. And then on top of that, we've got probably 3 companies right now in my headlines that say that they are had good results in their study, and they're getting ready to move to the next phase of their study. So that's got to be good too. I've got like Novavax. I've got NOV Pharmaceutical. You've got another one. Where is it at? It's called one I never heard of, BioNTech. So there's 3 companies right there that say they're getting closer too.
Yeah, our domestic phase 3 testing, I haven't heard any bad news about either, which is also good news. We are making progress. That's kind of the bottom line. Ain't there yet, but we are making progress. Setting the table for the morning, green day for the blue chips yesterday. Dow was up by 357 points. That's 1.3%. Standard & Poor's was up by a full quarter of a point yesterday. And like we were saying, they're just a matter of inches away from being at a record close. NASDAQ continued to get hammered a bit. It was off by about 1/3% yesterday. 45 minutes before the real money gets thrown around this morning, Phillip, what did things look like this morning?
We got another split day today, Dave. We got the Dow and the S&P 500 moving up. The Dow's just climbing skyrocket. It's up 1.3% over 28,000 right now. The S&P 500, it's given up some, but it's up about 0.5%. Right now, if it was to open at 33.68. Unfortunately, the NASDAQ is going backwards right now, down 0.7% or $77. So they're going the wrong direction. If we switch gears and look at the commodities stuff, Dave, we've got gold and silver both giving back a lot today. We got silver giving back 6%, almost 6.5% this morning. Gold down 3%. So significant retrenchment when it looks to those minerals there and precious metals. And then we look at crude oil heading up significantly today, up 1.7% to $42.67 a barrel.
All of that being indication of expectation of better equity performance. Ditto on the bond rate. You and I both noticed this earlier this morning, that the yields on both the 10 and 30-year Treasury bonds are going up too, which also tends to indicate money flowing into the equity markets and away from those quote-unquote safety valves. World markets, everything's green. Asian Rim closed up 1% to 2% over the night hours, and the British markets and German markets are up over 2% as well on optimism that we were talking about. Phillip, things are looking absolutely great this morning. Got to be an opportunity to earn money, but don't go crazy. That takes a level head. How do I find you to get an appointment and keep myself settled and grounded properly?
David, give us a call at 863-382-0037. Hey, we've updated our website. Go there, statlerfinancial.com. Follow us on Facebook. Just search under Statler Financial Services, like our page, and follow us there. And then join us this weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday mornings on Highlands News Talk 730.
Where we stream it on newstalk730am.com, just like we do this effort every day on 1057lightfm.com. Phillip, thank you so much. I do appreciate you, and we'll catch you in the morning, all right?
All right, man. You have a great day.
Be well, my friend. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services, Phillip Statler.
Hey, folks, as we get ready to close out today's show, let me remind you that this great increase that we're seeing in the indexes today is a great opportunity to rebalance, make sure that you've got the right diversification between risk and safety. Risk and safety. How much of your portfolio is at risk if the market goes down today? Doesn't look like it will. But what if it goes down next week, next month? Are you prepared? The closer you are to retirement, the more important that diversification is. Give me a call at 863-382-0037 to schedule your financial x-ray. Hey, man, have a great day. I look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow.